Joyce Low from YYC Digital Xero Platinum Partner will be talking about marketing and money, budgeting, cash flow, and measures, moderated by Dr. Mimi Aminah Nordin from Constellation Ventures.
Marketing and money, budgeting, cash flow, and measures. Hi, everybody. My name is Mimi from Constellation Ventures, and to help talk about the topic today, I'm joined by Joyce Low from YYC Digital. YYC is a professional service and accounting firm which has been in the industry for more than 47 years, and Joyce is a chartered accountant under the ICAEW. Young as she is, she's previously from a Big Four accounting firm. Joined YYC as a business advisory consultant and is now heading cloud transformation. She has a lot of experience in incorporating her outsourced CFO expertise with cloud transformation to be of service to Malaysian SME. Welcome to the panel, Joyce.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Mimi, and hi, everyone.
Hi.
Thanks for the good introduction, and thanks to Turbocharge.Live for having us as their gold sponsors. Yeah, we're very proud to be here.
Awesome. We're proud to have you. And I think let's dive straight to the topic, Joyce, marketing and money, budgeting, cash flow, and measures. And I think we got to speaking about it, and I think a good place to start is sharing some of the common issues faced by SME when relating to marketing spend, etc. Please, Joyce.
Yeah, sure. So thanks for the question. Maybe I'll just quickly share my screen with everyone to jump right into the topic for today. So, it's interesting that Investopedia touched on 4 common reasons why small businesses fail. Yeah, I mean, I might be a bit of a negative thing to start with, but I think it actually explains to us the areas that we should be focusing on. Yeah. So, being advisors to a lot of SMEs in Malaysia, I think we don't fall far from these reasons as well. Number one would be lack of sufficient capital. I think a lot of entrepreneurs know that you're always trying to raise funds, right? Getting more money in order to continue to survive. Poor management is another reason. I think self-explanatory there. Good leadership is so important, especially in times of crises like these. In order to survive, we will need very, very strong management, right? However, there's 2 more reasons that, interestingly, is directly related to marketing. And the third one would be inadequate business planning, which includes marketing initiatives. Yeah. And lastly would be overblowing marketing budgets. So that is even more relevant to today's panel discussion, whereby we ourselves, being advisors to many, many SMEs in Malaysia, we do notice that there is 2 types of businesses when it comes to marketing. Yeah, so one type of business would be they spend, they are willing to spend, but they do not measure how much they're spending or what kind of results they're getting. So they're very tactical. Yes, they will go with the trends. Like, for example, now TikTok is such a huge thing, right? So they'll be going on TikTok, but sometimes it might not be the thing to use for their type of business, or maybe they're more of a B2B. Maybe LinkedIn would be something that is more advisable for them. But because the trend is there, they'll just go right in and spend all the money they need, right, to go into that type of marketing approach. Then they'll be following the wind, or they'll focus on like top line only, for example, how much sales, but not on their profits. And the second type of business would be a little bit better in the sense that they at least do measure, but they might not be sure how to measure. So there'll be maybe too financial focus, penny pinchers. They might wait and see, not sure whether to spend that money or not. They might not be marketing focused. Again, they're just more on like cost savings and whatnot. And they might not have goal settings. They might spend on the marketing for the sake of spending, but they don't know what intent or results they would like to get from there. Yeah, so this is very much in line with what Investopedia was saying in their article, whereby, there's one type of business that does not have proper initiatives for their marketing. And there's another one that might be overblowing their marketing budget, which might cause businesses to fail. Yeah.
Right. So I think that's a good segue into, so therefore, how should SMEs be doing this to make it right, Joyce, if you can share?
Yeah, sure. So, how do they start with budgeting is a very good question. Conventional wisdom would tell you maybe spend about 10% of your total sales on marketing. But some do say that, you can go up to 15 to 20%. Say if it's a newer type of product or service, you need to get the word out there more quickly to more people in order to, get the sales. You can expand it to 15 to 20%, but always don't forget that every percentage spent on marketing will also reduce the percentage of your profit margins. So at the end of the day, measure, measure, measure. Yeah. And I would like to also share some of the typical measures that some companies, or most actually I would say companies, do use. Maybe I'll just quickly flash it on the screen so that people can have a quick look at it, such as say cost per lead, cost per acquisition, or cost of customer acquisition, which is how much you will spend to acquire that customer, or maybe even cost per conversion. Say if you're talking about number of clicks, downloads, or form submissions, and also customer lifetime value. So I think many of you here, after going through this conference, would hear a lot of these jargons being thrown around. I won't go too much into it. Do come and visit us for a one-to-one consultation if you'd like to know more. But these are the type of typical measures that they can start off with.
Right. So you were sharing with me earlier too, Joyce, of an interesting case of when you saw, I think, a client of yours that was able to leverage of these measures. And I thought it was pretty interesting. Well, why don't you share that with the audience?
Yeah, sure. So I'd like to share a very good case study on a client that's an aesthetics clinic. So this client spent about over R1 million on their marketing, mainly on Facebook ads and billboards and whatnot. But surprisingly, with R1 million ringgit, they saw no results. Yeah, their sales didn't increase. They didn't see client retention and whatnot. So they came to us, and then we looked into like their strategic planning, their numbers, and we always advocate execution. And from there, when we looked into their numbers, we advised two main things. So number one, we looked at their customer retention. We saw that they were very good customers that were paying customers. They seemed to like their service, but they didn't seem to come back, maybe because they didn't have a plan, of how to retain. So we told them, why don't you spend some of your marketing budget on customer retention or recurring sales? Spend more on this target audience, and that would increase the lifetime value of each customer as well. So when they did that, they did see an increase in that. And with the lifetime value of each customer increasing, so the ratio of that to the customer acquisition cost became much higher, right? So that was a very good measuring tool for them, and a results that they could see for themselves on what the marketing spend was for, and what it actually gave back to them. And secondly, there was also their branch budgeting and their actual results, whereby we went into each branch budgets as well as financials, and we saw that they were having a decentralized type of marketing spend, whereby they were spending the same type of marketing, but for each branch having their own plans, their own strategies, and their own costs. So we told them, hey, why not you centralize that and put it all under one, so that you have a consistent messaging, and your cost will also reduce, because as you increase the number of branches, you do not have to increase the amount spent on marketing. And at the end of the day, the most interesting thing is that with the same amount spent on marketing, they could see a 40% increase in sales, just because they measured, they budgeted, and they planned on whatever they had for marketing, right? Yeah, so that's something that I think entrepreneurs should always look into.
Doing. I think that's a very good point, and something very insightful, Joyce, and just to kind of leverage your background on accounting, maybe some of the other costs that probably SMEs has not looked into that you think they should be. Can you share some of those with the audience?
Yeah, sure, Dr. Mimi. So that's a really good question. I think these are some things that you would really have to also consider when looking at your budgeting. So some of the costs that might be things that is just, part of the running a business and also your marketing spend is such as like, say, withholding tax. Because generally, withholding tax is about 10% on anything paid to non-tax residents. So say you're paying to Facebook and whatnot, right, which is a non-tax resident, you would have to pay a withholding tax on that spend. And if it's late, there will be a 10% penalty on the withholding tax amount that was not paid on time. So this might be cost just to keep in mind for compliance purposes. And that's where budgeting is very important as well. Yeah, and then there's also additional income tax that might be something to look into because sometimes we are just simply not aware of non-tax deductible items for sales and marketing. Maybe, for example, like cash sponsorships. Yeah, we like to tell our clients, when you give cash sponsorships, try and maybe ask the person you're sponsoring, can I also market my logo maybe in your booklet or something of that sort, whereby it's really, it goes by the sake of marketing spend, and it's not just something like an ang pao or whatnot, whereby the IRB will have to add that back and tax you on it, right? Yeah, so that's another thing to look into. And lastly, interest, because sometimes cash flow might be, it's normal for SMEs, might be something that they will always have to consider. And when you spend on marketing, you might have to borrow some money and there'll be interest involved as well. But you have to market in order to sell your product, right? Yeah. So again, it's back to measuring, budgeting, and planning so that you know exactly what you're going into, how much is being spent, and where that money is going towards. Yeah.
I can relate to that. Running businesses, cash is king, and that sounds like something we definitely must look into. So the exciting thing is how YYC is using technology to help do this. Please share that with the audience, Joyce.
Yeah, sure. So, YYC is a very proud platinum partner of Xero, and Xero is a cloud accounting tool. So we're very happy to just share, what Xero can do in terms of budgeting and helping you to manage your financials. Yeah. So usually when you look at your budgets, obviously you'll be looking at your financial budgets and you want to know your actual results. Of course, every dollar spent, you would like to have more and more clients coming in, having more and more sales. So like, for example, with a tool like Xero using technology, you can have a budget manager right inside the tool itself. So a lot of times you don't get that, right? But in this cloud tool, such as Xero, you have a budget already inbuilt. And with that, with a click of a button, you can also have a profit and loss showing you the variances of how much you have budgeted and how much is your actual spend. Because I used to be an outsourced CFO, and we used to have our Excel spreadsheets, showing the differences, turning it into green or red on a manual basis. It takes a lot of time. But now with cloud technology, cloud accounting, you just by a click of a button, you save so much of time and you get your information at the palm of your hands. And secondly, you will also get real-time insights because, again, it's on the cloud. You also have direct bank feeds. So entrepreneurs can see their business snapshot at any time, anywhere. And they can also look at how much cash they have and even the forecast for 7 days or even 30 days in advance. And with that, they can make the right decisions to hopefully make their businesses grow. And lastly, with tech, you can see that I'm very passionate about tech and going onto the cloud because of what it can help you, like when we think of spending on tech, we're actually increasing our efficiency and making better decisions, which will hopefully grow our business. So like, having so many other tech platforms today, speaking at the conference, Xero is also happy to say that it is an open API, whereby it allows other technology to be incorporated and connected with Xero. So you can have one space to get all your data into and measure your financials. Yeah. Even Xero itself has 800 connected apps on their marketplace, whereby it doesn't take or cost you much just to digitalize your business.
Oh, Awesome. In the interest of time, Joyce, maybe you can help summarize for the audience some of the, I learned that this is also something the government is supported, and maybe some closing remarks for the audiences that's interested to explore Xero and YYC's offering.
Yeah, sure. So I'd just like to share that YYC is a MDEC technology solution provider. And with that, we are able to offer our clients the MDEC SME Business Digitalization Grant. We are able to help you to apply for it. So the government is giving up to 5,000 ringgit of matching grant in order to help SMEs to go digital. And, feel free to join us at our booth. We have a lot of consultants there to speak to you one-on-one on your needs and how this grant can really help you to reduce the cost of going digital.
Cool. Any last words, Joyce? I learned that you have a booth that we can the audience can help explore.
Yeah, happy to say yes, we do have a booth at this conference, so please do come visit us. We'll be more than happy to speak to you, give you a demo session, one-to-one consultation. I mean, there's a lot to cover when it comes to finances and marketing and how to budget and plan. So come visit us. We'll be more than happy to speak to you. And you know what? We even have a special promo for anyone who comes to us during these 3 days. But only if you come to our booth, right? Yeah, so see you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think budget, plan and measure is the message from Joyce Low today from YYC. Please visit their booth. And Joyce, it has been a pleasure, insightful sharing. Thank you for that. And I hope the audience enjoyed it as much as I did.
Thank you, Dr. Mimi, and thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
So yes, indeed, the new mantra for entrepreneurs may well be measure, budget, plan, and repeat. So, judging from the huge number of reaction to Joyce's slide on the most common reasons why small businesses fail, it seems that this is a topic very near and dear to SMEs and entrepreneurs. And this puts a spotlight on, for example, clients who spend 1 million of their marketing budget on billboards and digital ad spend when, they could be spending more on marketing tech, for example, And a few things that Joyce mentioned actually struck a chord here. So number one, she mentioned that, she did give advice on why not spend your marketing budget on things like customer retention and recurring sales, because this will then therefore increase the lifetime value of each customer. And I think that's a really important point. And this advice is also a part of the services provided by Xero. So, do check them out at their booth. And, there was something in the chat. I think someone mentioned that they've never seen so many thumbs up when someone was talking about withholding tax, so that's something really funny. So, all right, guys, we coming up is the final session of the day, and then we will go into the closing of day one. Now, do stay on for that because we will be sharing all the juicy insights for today, all right? So see you in session 15 up next.